if you were right now, okay to do it.
Yeah, they have been mentioning it for a long time. They've said, well, maybe one day you'll do, which is one of those things, like, as an actor, especially because I didn't have any work before this job, it's like someone saying, one day a golden unicorn will fly down in the sky. And you're like, all right, whatever. When it comes, I'll have a celebration and make sure my camera's with me. But it did, and then they were like, oh, it's happening. And I was like, okay, oh, you're on it. And so I found out that I was doing it about 6 hours before it was like out in the press. Like, I found out right before everybody else did that I was doing it. And so I don't know anything else about it because we haven't started filming it yet. I know it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be an adventure, and that's all I know. But I'm super excited.
But when are you going to start filming?
August. Start filming in
pretty
August.
soon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay. So you must know certain things. It's impossible.
I don't.
You don't? Oh,
I swear to you. I go have a costume fitting this week, and I've given them information. The set people have called me, the prop people have called me and said, explain your desk to me, explain this to me. And that's all. And then I go in for a fitting this week, and that, I swear to you,
but it's the same character, right?
Same character. I still play Penelope Garcia. It's going to star Forrest Whitaker and Janine Garofalo, and we all know the same amount of information.
And I'm sorry, last question. Are you still going to do Criminal
Yes,
Minds?
I'm going to do both. It's going to be, I shoot usually 1 or 2 days an episode, so I shoot like a 13, 14-hour day, and I love my job, and I'm perfectly happy to be, and I'm a theater girl, so I'm like one take, I learn my lines, I go in, I get out. So it's like doing a play, a couple days a week. It's great. Yeah.
So tech-wise, what do you think there's going to be much changing between Criminal Minds and the spinoff in terms of the technology that's going to be used?
To be perfectly honest, I think that we've kept our show kind of low tech when it comes to think of all the shows and the way that what I use in terms of technology, and I mean on my screens. Oh yeah, look, she's using open source and it's Unix and Linux and all that stuff, and that's awesome. But when you look at the other shows, I'm always like, why don't we have a giant screen that I can manipulate with my hands, and why can't it read my optic nerve? But we don't have that yet, so I'm looking forward to maybe upping the game.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because right now it's just sort of like my imagination, and I just act like I'm super fast, and that's the magic.
Say, in your mind, how fast of a typist are you?
Oh my God, like 400 words a minute. And in reality, I type with 2 fingers, and in reality, my right hand is completely useless. So this hand moves like this on screen, and this hand, it's all just me making the audience think. If you know anything about typing and you actually watch me, like my friends sometimes do, they go, you're so bad, it's awful. It is, it's awful. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about the fact that you're offering a spin-off, so you're going to have to roast? And I'm sorry, but one actress was...
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. AJ Cook she's going to finish her last episode this season. It's awful.
So she's shooting how many episodes?
She's shooting 2 episodes, I believe. And, it sucks when they fire your friends. It had nothing to do, I mean... I don't know who made that decision, you know what I mean? But I know that us as a family, the family that Ed Bernero made of us are crushed, and it's awful, and it didn't have anything to do. They're 2 separate things that, I'm sure that they didn't have anything to do with each other, but it certainly didn't feel good, and it certainly doesn't make you feel like, oh, everybody's okay. It makes you very aware that, it's a job, and if they need you, they keep you, and if they don't, they fire you.
There was nothing...
Not that she's not necessary, but someone made a decision that she was not necessary, and that's a bad decision, in my opinion. But my job, I did not choose to be I did not choose to be whoever makes these decisions, and that's their choice, and it's like you're living in someone's rental, and they get to decide who stays and who goes, and it blows.
But as a team, were you not able to, I know it's like the decision are taken really high, and probably you don't have any contact with those people, but still, as a team, you never thought about...
What we did was the fans set up a petition, and I had Jane Lynch sign that petition. I had Jane Atkinson, Helen Mirren called me and signed that petition. That petition and I was calling people up and being like, this is happening, because that's really all you can do. And the fans are really the most powerful thing we have, and we had 60,000 people sign that petition, and it didn't do anything. And at that point, you kind of have to be like, I can't Because little old me, they don't give a shit.
But
like,
did you actually sign petition?
Oh yeah, hell
okay,
yeah!
all
I
right.
signed a petition.
Okay.
I twittered about it.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you never know. I mean,
You don't. But you know, if I'm, which we're all dispensable, but at the end of the day, I couldn't. You know what I mean? To keep your mouth shut about something like that. I don't. If someone makes a decision, they make a decision. But to me, it was like, can you see how many people disagree with you? Make that decision, but just know that I disagree with you, and you're allowed to because you're in charge and you're the one who holds the change. But you know, and I, you know, whatever, they can make those decisions. That's their choice.
So after several years of grisly murders, serial killers, how do you sleep at night? Do you
I sleep
well?
just fine because actually, number one, I make the show. Like, I make the show. People watch the show. And they're two different audiences to me. Like, I don't watch the show because if I watched the show, I would not be the girl who's making the show. I play the empath. I play the comedic relief. There is a distance. You keep yourself from it. And I know that I have a really good life. So it would be arrogant of me to say, oh, I'm going to go to bed and sleep. Can't sleep because they're paying me so much fucking money to, sorry, play pretend all day. Like, that to me would be arrogant. So I try to
I just mean in terms of like the material that you're dealing with.
We do a table read. I totally know what you mean.
Yeah.
We do a table read, and I try to keep myself, you know, like, okay, it is gross and it's scary. And yeah, do I wake up sometimes like in tears, like, oh my God, there's a child trapped in a closet, and there's a bomb attached to her? Absolutely, I do that. But you kind of like have to check yourself, and you go, no, that's the job. You know, you have that minute. I've absolutely had that where I've woken up. I mean, there was this whole thing with Matthew's character being addicted to drugs, and you know, in your brain sometimes you're like, oh, he's had a lot of coffee today, or is it the heroin? And then you have to be like, no, that's the character. And you kind of, but as an actor, I think you constantly do that reminding thing, because if I didn't, I could never play any other characters. I'd be wounded and haunted by all of this. So I try to keep a lot of happiness around to kind of balance it out. Yeah.
What's in the can for the new season for Criminal Minds? Do you know that at least a bit?
No, I mean, it's this next episode we're doing, the episode we just did, and this next episode are really, really AJ Cook heavy, who plays JJ, who's the one that's leaving. And these are going to be amazing episodes. She's a fantastic actress, and it's going to really focus on her. And I know what the episode is, and there is not a dry eye in the house about it. And I'm so grateful that I get to play a big part in it, because we are so close, and we've supported each other so much through it. So, and it rocked me so much personally to have her leave, that they've written it so that it mirrors, the character certainly mirrors me in it. So I'm very curious to see how I will be very emotional. Yes, I will. That will be the thing that will freak me out. Yeah.
So, but how's it for her
About
to?
2 minutes left before we rotate tables.
How's it for her to shoot? To come back on the set? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for her, but you know what I mean. She's a wonderful person and a wonderful actress, and classy as hell, and professional. So I mean, I couldn't speak for her, but I can speak for. I can tell you that she's amazing, and she's gonna rise like a phoenix. And she was already doing great in this show.
So how much of a tech geek are you in general?
My fiance is currently taking a very fancy Linux class, and is like, all of the computers are fancily rigged up. I know more than other people because of her, but I'm not by any stretch of the imagination amazing at it. I was making a joke that the other day I looked over and saw something she was looking at, and I was like, gnome calculator? What is a gnome? Is it a small calculator covered in ivy that gnomes use? No, Kirsten. That's a technical. Oh, all right. I was very excited. Fedora, red hat. What is that? Is that a costume? No, Kirsten. It's So I don't have the. I try to play homage, and if I'm saying something, if I've got honey pot farms or whatever, I go and find out. Like, you tell me what a honey pot farm is, so my imagination can wrap its head around it, but I couldn't do it for you. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start